My name is Nate Jeffery, and I'm an MFA candidate in painting here at Miami University of Ohio. I'm a figurative artist, and much of my work centers on humans in their own space, often with people close to me. But in a larger sense, what I'm attempting to look at intently is the relationship we humans have with ourselves, with the intimate spaces of our lives serving as a metaphor for the differing facets of the self. Who are we? Are we the self we project into the world, or is that too merely a small component of obscenity? I continue to be fascinated with the ways in which we as human beings have within us the capacity both for metacognition and to be engaged with our evolving, changing self-consciousness. We are, to varying degrees, our conscious self, unconscious self, past self, projected self, and their ever-shifting sums. Our present self, with all of its anxieties, self-consciousness, emotion, ego, and clamoring thoughts, are all a part of who we are. This sense that we're a complex series of dichotomies, growing, evolving, adapting, and living with our inherent internal tensions is largely what I'm seeking to explore in my artwork. Temporality, with all of its ephemeral and conditional demands on our human existence, gives a glimpse into the ideas and thoughts that drive my painting and drawing. Our internal lives are both transient and evolving, and yet we have a tendency to see the self in a sort of stasis. But to be truly human, I think we need to embrace the inner tension of accepting both our mortality and our internal conflicts as valuable, even necessary components of being. In my work, there are often several things happening, sometimes at once, from an iterative series of figures and traces of prior drawing to areas of realism and unfinished passages. All of this, for me, becomes the dialogue I have with the image as I determine the direction of the painting, not from a predetermined endpoint, but as a means to learn from the work as I make it. This is further manifest in the visual history of my mark making, of earlier poses, drawings beneath, and the fractured wholeness of my attempts to articulate this. Who I am, and who you are, is a series of complexities which are simultaneously genetic, learned, adopted, possibly spiritual, and almost certainly habitual. I carry within my own head the idea that I'm an artist, but also the nagging suspicion that I'm a fraud and that I have little to offer. But what I would like to posit is that I, like you, can tap into the complexities of my own internal dialogue to see both that the uncertainty and clamoring voices within us can make us more fully human and deeply empathetic to the people around us. I, like everyone, particularly this year, have been made acutely aware of my own feelings of isolation, of disconnect from others, and of our social constructs which keep us striving to return to a feeling of normalcy. But on some levels, we've been given an opportunity to look carefully at the meanings we create in our lives. In a strange year, filled with a new sense of isolation, anxiety, and increased awareness of our own spaces, however small, cramped, or cluttered, perhaps how we invest in ourselves, our time, energy, resources, thoughts, and feelings become a gauge of how we value ourselves and those around us. My work is an attempt to articulate through visual language what the intersections of art and psychology may look like, and to elucidate the inherent tensions of being human. Using these intimate environments as a metaphor for human headspace, with all its clutter and competing perspectives, I seek to create compositions that are both literal and figurative, displaying actual spaces where the figures are engaged both with each other and sometimes the viewer. We spend our entire lives with our own headspace, but also within the spaces we inhabit. Through this evocation of space, memory, perception, and dialogue, my work is an attempt at exploring how as humans we effectively carry multiple versions of self within, and how those complexities can be accepted to enable us to grow, adapt, and embrace the unknown with empathy for ourselves and for others. Thank you for watching.